Good Saturday morning to you. Awesome day. Saturdays are the best. The weekend is right on top of us, and the weather looks pretty good. It's not really on top of us, but it's here. And I hope you got the weekend off. Hope you have some awesome plans. There's a little fog back at the coast. Temperatures today are about where they were yesterday, and they're going to hover here now. So it's warm to hot. There's a heat advisory through today, but it's not as sweltering as it was. And the trend's going to be for more typical weather pattern, not way above average temperatures, but more average temperatures to at average or just below average. So it's going to be summer, and we're going back to it. On the West Coast, you can see the heat advisories and heat warnings. We've got the Pickett Fire. We'll take a look at that. There's some other fires burning around the state, but I'm not freaking out about them because even though it's hot, right? And it's the height of fire season, but we're not staring at a lot of wind, and we're not staring at a big extreme heat wave coming our way. As a matter of fact, temperatures generally over the next few days are going to kind of moderate and then cool down a little bit. Lake Tahoe's got thunderstorm potential. Probably the best run of subtropical or monsoonal moisture that we've seen for the west slope and the east slope of the Sierra Nevada this season, which just says something. So about 2 or 3 days. And then at some point, if I don't forget, which I'll try not to, we'll look at I'll show you some pictures, because I said I'd get you from my 4 weeks of just, dude, never took 4 weeks before in my life, ever. I had jobs since I was 9 or 10 years old, never took more than 2 weeks when I go with my mom or dad somewhere, like fishing or something. But anyway, that was awesome. So we'll look at some pictures. So what do we got? We've got an awesome day. We've got West Coast heat right here from Seattle, from the Puget Sound, all the way down to San Diego. Heat advisories into Los Angeles. Los Angeles today, you're going to go 91 degrees. San Diego, about 85 degrees. Extreme heat warnings, and we know what that means. When you have extreme, obviously there's fire danger, but it's also heat's the thing, right? So you got now, well, how many million people covered in heat advisory? So it's going to be a stressful day for those with pre-existing conditions for heat and other things. Heat's weird, man, because it'll take you down. They won't call it, if you get sick or something, they won't go as heat. They'll go, oh, you had an asthma attack or something. But heat exacerbates existing conditions. Not a doctor, but just over doing this for all these years, I've sort of figured that out, and I think you probably figured it out as well. Let me get that out of there. Didn't want that. I did want that right there. Okay, here is the visible satellite, the most useful tool in our toolbox of weather. The weather toolbox, this is it. So first thing to note is, see the flat, smooth fog bank? That's because there's an inversion, right? We know the inversion is about 1,200 feet today. I'll show you that coming up, but it means it's shallow. It means there's a flat top on that, right? It's when the air starts to warm above it. It creates the cold air sinks and creates a flat top. So that's why there's no texture on this. Now you're going, oh, but Bill, there is texture. Well, this is subtropical moisture. You can see the shadows being cast upon the coastal fog. So you can see the fog, Salinas Valley, clearly contouring the valley as it moves south. Point Conception, clearing out in Lompoc. My friends down in Hollister Ranch are having a good day. Surf's not that good, but it's coming up in a couple days. And then all this subtropical moisture. A lot of it. And this is early. This is 9:30, 10 in the morning. And so by the time the day gets going, these bad boys are going to erupt. So this is, when we talk about monsoonal flow, we talk about all monsoons they're not always wet. They can be dry monsoon. It's a seasonally shifting wind pattern. And the wind pattern, because it gets so hot down here in the desert, if you can picture this, the air rises. It creates a thermal low at the surface. And aloft, the air rises, hits the top of the tropopause, the top of our atmosphere, flattens out, and turns into a high pressure center, which rotates up aloft now, not at the surface, rotates this way. And look what where those arrows bring right? So these arrows, that upper level high pushes the moisture in our direction. It's simple. It is simple. And it happens every year about this time, and none of it's unusual. I think we got it covered. Not a lot of smoke showing up. Air quality pretty good in our zone, and actually out west too. This picture is Mount Tamalpais looking towards Mount Diablo. You see the marine layer. We're looking way down on the marine layer, so that's why I said 1,200 feet deep. maybe 13. But the thing, I don't have a profiler today. That it keeps going down, which is it's the acoustic profiler out of Fort Ord, and then we could actually get a pretty good fix on it. But this is a pretty good fix. See Mount Diablo way off in the distance down here, and pretty good air quality in the Bay Area for this time of year. So that's the picture. It's going to be a hot day. Well, let's go back to it. When I see, if I'm in Concord right now and I have access to an image of the fog, I know it's going to be, 98 degrees today, something like that, because this fog, there ain't no way it's getting up over Volmer Peak. It's not getting up over the East Bay Hills. It's going to get stuck in there. In fact, it's going to burn back to the coast in the next few hours. And those inland valleys are going to get hot, as is the summertime thing. Now, when that fog's higher and does cool off the inland valleys, and you get that delta breeze up in Sacramento, it's a different deal. Okay. You know all this. I think you know all this, which is awesome. So maybe, it would be awesome someday, because my whole goal here is to kind of teach you how this is all stuff. It's all in my links. You can have all this stuff. You can figure it out yourself. But my goal would be perfect one day if I just sat here and just toggled through the graphics, right? And you just did the forecast, because you could do it. These are the forecast highs for today. And they're a lot like they were yesterday. And they'll be a lot like that again tomorrow. From San Diego all the way up into the Oregon border, we've got temperatures above the average, but nothing crazy. This is classic summer, and you see the cooler, milder temperatures along the coast, indicating a bit of a sea breeze. There's a small craft advisory will be offshore. This is tomorrow. So here, let's toggle back. This is today forecast. Find your city, find your spot. This is tomorrow. So no big changes, which is very similar to what we had yesterday. So let's go to Redding. This is the red flag warnings, or not red flag warnings. Pardon me. This is the heat advisory and heat warnings, extreme heat warnings. And if we go in close, this is the surface map observation. All of these stations. We can go to my old town. Well, let's go to Chico. Chico right now is 82 degrees, 46%. Dew point, 46 degree dew point, 28% RH. So that's pretty warm, 82 degrees max temp overnight. Wow, let's see, min temp, 73. It didn't get below 73 degrees last night in Chico. So let's go to Redding, Red Bluff, Redding. Okay, so Redding right now is under a heat advisory, 84 degrees. And they're going to get up to about 105 degrees today. And we can tell that by looking at this live picture of the Sundial Bridge. And I love live pictures for weather because you can just tell by the way people are walking and driving their golf carts and what they're wearing, what's going on. Sundial Bridge in Redding actually works. It's a working sundial. Those are solar panels on the deck. It's a beautiful deal. Redding's a beautiful town. It really is. If you really get on the right day, can get smoky this time of year, but look at that air quality up there right now. That's pretty good. The north end of the valley, the Sacramento Valley is shaped like, so you go from Bakersfield, and it's sort of like a bowl, kind of an elongated bowl. Well, that north end captures a lot of the pollutants and such because of the Trinity Alps, Mount Shasta, Lake Shasta, the hills, the Cascade Range there holds a lot of this junk in as it gets pushed north on a westerly flow, southwesterly flow. So they do tend to get some air quality that's less than great. Okay, so fire. Gifford Fire, big, very big. 137,000 acres. But well managed, and they got something like, what do they got? Like 95% containment on it. That thing's been burning forever. The little fire is kind of new. This is out towards Bakersfield, 245 acres. State Route 178 was closed. The road remains open for travelers. The terrain is steep. The fire has been mapped, 214 acres, and they've got pretty good response on it. So they're really good about this year about getting just quick response on fires. It's been fortunate. It's been a good year. But a lot of that has to do with CAL FIRE and Forest Service. 620 acres on the Coyote Fire, that's 17% contained. Anytime you get any containment on these, that's pretty impressive. The Pickett Fire is the one that was of most concern because it blew up so quickly. They are at 7% containment, and they flew all night last night on this one with the Blackhawks, which marks a big difference from, I say it over and over, but again, I remember we'd have a fire, and I can remember waiting and waiting. We air support a lot of times wouldn't get there before dark, and they don't fly. They used to not fly at night. Now they can with these Blackhawks, so it's very helpful. So the fire, this is out towards the fire out towards, which one is this? This is the Pickett. You can see that you got some smoke, but not an active smoke plume. The smoke model represents this, shows smoke coming down, but again, it's not bad. The darker oranges are the heavier smoke. So East Coast looks pretty good after what has been a summer of smoke in the Great Lakes region. And then Idaho's had a dose of smoke. I was just in Montana in those areas, and they did have a little bit. They had a bunch of fires burned, but there was nothing prolific, and so the smoke wasn't horrible. So with that, you take a look at the air quality. First thing we'll do is we'll go to let it populate. There's so many data points on this map, purple air, but it's a good broad brush. So you can kind of go, okay, there's California, that's up by Mount Shasta, the smoke, and you can kind of see you definitely have your pockets. This is the Pickett Fire down here. And it's not bad. Bay Area air quality pretty good. Bay Area air quality pretty good. A little bit of air quality issues down towards Bakersfield, down towards those fires burning there. But nothing stands out. So, 500 millibar vorticity. There's the low. Let's see what's going to happen. This is the high. This is the reason we're so warm. That round circle, that one little scraggy round circle, that's the donut hole on the high. That's the center. And you see it kind of move west, and then it sort of kind of goes away, and it gets stepped on by some of this vorticity, some of this instability. So the high at this point, we're into Tuesday, is having trouble staying firmly put, and that is usually an indication the temperatures are going to kind of just muddle along. In other words, it's not going to get real hot, it's not going to get real cold, or real much cooler. So it's kind of continuing on. What is picked out here is that subtropical, it doesn't pick out the subtropical moisture, but it picks out the monsoonal flow, the energy of it. See all that right there? So that kind of picks out the thunderstorms that we're looking forward to as we go through the next 2 or 3 days in Lake Tahoe. And then here's a couple drive-bys, right? So now we can push on. We'll look at, this is monsoonal moisture. Wow, this is precipitable water. And we can see, I'll put a circle around us. And this is today. This is just available moisture. So I got a circle around us so you can see us. This is this afternoon. Let's see. This is this afternoon. So you see down around Bishop, thunderstorms. I mean, look at all that moisture. And even out towards Reno. But it's going to be bumpy flying into Reno. It's going to be bumpy flying into Bakersfield. It's going to be bumpy flying into South Lake Tahoe. So this is this afternoon. So the moisture's there. And then this is tomorrow afternoon. Or pardon me, this is tomorrow afternoon right here. So the moisture's there. So now we'll go to the HRRR, which is a rapid update high-resolution model. It doesn't go out very far, but it'll show us this first round of moisture as the day heats up hour by hour. This is this morning, and then boom, boom, boom. What do we got there, right? Okay, let's go. I'll go right around 4 o'clock. So that's pretty impressive. So that's very active. And so Lake Tahoe, if you're up there, you're going to get some thunder boomers. And this forecast model, it doesn't go out much past this. That's this afternoon and this evening. So some pretty good thunderstorms. But it's going to happen. It's going to duplicate again tomorrow, that forecast. So we'll keep that in mind as you travel about Lake Tahoe the next couple of days. And it will, there's going to be some lightning strikes. Might be a little bit of dry lightning. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. This is the U.S. satellite map. Let's put the jet stream in. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. Let's see, maybe, okay, there's the low. See the spin? And then a little bit of a low here, a little trough there. I think it looks like the jet stream's up here, kind of like there, going around there. And then this is the high, bringing up that subtropical moisture from the desert southwest. Okay, and let's see. Put a lot of stuff in. There we are. That's what we looked at that. These are the highs for today across the country, and you can see it's all out west, the big heat. It's kind of manageable. Although anytime I look at those Texas numbers, San Antonio, 93, 94, and they got big humidity. So and Tampa Bay, 90. So it's real hot in the humid areas of the Southwest or Southeast. And then we can go, as I promised. What are you doing, Bill? I think these people are joking around, right? This is a bar it's in Key West, place I've never been, and I'll be honest with you, a little scared to go. It's called the Hog's Breast Saloon, and it's a live camera. I was looking for weather in Key West, and I ended up with this. So this looks like they're joking and playing around and having fun, but there is drinking going on early in the day. Or maybe it's just soda. I don't know. And the temperature right now is 31 degrees Celsius. So you know what we can do? So there, it's 31 degrees. I don't know what's going on here. This is awesome. we can make up our own story. But 31 degrees Celsius at Key West. Okay, so how do we do Celsius quickly to Fahrenheit? Double it, so it's 62 degrees plus 32, so it's 92. So you double the Celsius. It's not right on, but it's real close. It'll get you in a couple of degrees Fahrenheit. So to go to that, take that number. Let's call it 30 degrees. Double it. That's 60. Then add the freezing temperature of water, Fahrenheit, 32. So 30 twice is 60, plus 32 is 92 degrees. We are very close. That's actually a very useful skill. It's one of the first things I learned back when I was at Cal. Orman goes, you got to learn it, because we did a horrible job translating to the metric system. Okay, and we never did, which is weird. We'll get into that someday. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook above average, below or near normal rainfall. Okay, get it, for whatever that's worth. Tropical moisture or not moisture, but this is wind. This is the United States. This down here, where all the activity is, that's winter in the southern hemisphere. Just showing you the wind patterns and how there is, right? We got another jet stream further to the south, and they are just coming out of their winter. Ocean Beach right now, 2 to 3, breezy, small craft advisories offshore, and a shallow marine layer. No fog in Cardiff and San Diego right now. San Diego's going to go 85 degrees today. And it looks small. It's going to stay small for a little while. There's nothing really happening. This shot is Mount Shasta, and this is going to show you the moisture coming in from the subtropical moisture. And it's early. I mean, look, in the morning, it's already there. So as this day heats up, it's going to be awesome. You know what I'm going to do? Oh, look at that. If you're not watching your TV, that's awesome. You know, I'm going to do a thing here. Let's see if this, and you can see some of those lenticulars trying to form. Let's see if I can do this. And you go, what are you doing, Bill? I'll show you. I think. No, I thought it was going to update for me and give me a better update. Let's see. I don't think it does. No. Not beautiful though. And that's smoke. This lower moisture, see that lower plume? That's smoke, for sure. The way it is wafting in. Huh. Okay. Mount Shasta, everybody. This is down towards the Little Fire, and this is just some smoke that I dug up, showing down towards Bakersfield, and just looking at the atmosphere. So this is, you can see some of the smoke from the fire. It's settled down a little bit. They'll crush it real soon. This is Dagger Mound, out by Halama, Point Conception, and that's Halama Beach out there. And this is Monterey Bay Aquarium. I couldn't give you the jellyfish today because the jellyfish camera is down. Okay. And then this is the Puffins not having it. Aaron threw up some surf, so the Puffins, you can see the wet on the rocks. So the Puffins are like, we're not hanging out here. This is the Farallon Islands where the visibility is 0. There was a seagull there earlier. Seagull now gone. And then bears. I'm going to check one thing real quick as you look at the bears. They're getting fat, man. Like, I was gone a bunch of days. Hang on. Oh, awesome. We got a little time. I was gone a bunch of days, so I missed the bears. But look how big they get. I mean, now granted, I don't know which these are the same bears I was watching beforehand, but this is Brooks River Falls live camera. Look at this guy up to his head in fish. That's so awesome. Nature's ridiculously awesome. But they are getting big, right? I mean, it's a long winter up there. When I first started watching this, last time before I went away on vacation, salmon, as you know, are just prolific up the run. So bears are awesome. Salmon are awesome. You're awesome. I think we got it. Okay, vacation pics. Promised you that. Saw Dad yesterday. We'll talk about that some other time. The pictures, Selway River up in Idaho. It's supposedly one of the more remote. We flew in, and you kind of take rafts down there. It's really it's a lottery to get in there. So I've been in a few times, but it's funny because the fish, I'll send these pictures. I don't even know what pictures you're looking at, but they'll come up. But the fish aren't horrible. They're cutthroats, and I kind of feel bad because I call it, because people, they're stupid, they're dumb, because rainbows are technically supposed to be smarter, I guess. But then I called the cutthroats dumb because they were biting everything. And then as soon as I got out of the remoteness of the river, the Selway, I started throwing lines down in Missoula and kind of out towards just some of the river, more populated fished rivers. Cutthroat aren't stupid. They're just, if you just get remote cutthroat, you get remote rainbows or browns. They're not stupid, but they're not looking for fake. They're not worried about, they're not shy. Leader shy is what we call it. And in this case, on this fishing trip I went on, it was like we actually cut the barbs off the hooks, because it was because the barbs are sminched, but I mean cut the hook off, so you just grab them and then they don't even get hooked. You just pull them in for a while and then let them go because the fish were so prolific. I think I've included this. This is loading up the rafts, and it just it's like, moving the 5th Infantry or something. There's so much stuff in these trips. And what else do I have for you? That's it. All right. Awesome. Hope all is well. I will talk to you again, maybe not tomorrow, but certainly Monday. Take care.